When I first started out on my magical journey, I didn't realise the impact it would have on my life. I suppose I was quite naive. I thought maybe I'd just do a few spells and it'd be really cool and I could say that I'd done magic, but I really didn't realise the way that it would enrich my life and improve my life and shift my life in ways. And so I wanted to share those unexpected ways that magic has changed my life. And I thought I would bring you along with me on a walk that I did recently through the dunes and onto the coastline, because being near the ocean is one of my favourite places to be. It's one of the most magical, humbling places. It really puts things into perspective, makes me realise what a small dot I am in this massive universe when I look out at the ocean. So the first way, it's made me focus more on personal responsibility. What I mean by this is that if I've had some difficulties in my life or I'm struggling in some way, I've thought about what magic I could perform to help with that. But also I'm aware that what I do in the mundane is just as important. And so I've been forced to think about, well, what part do I need to play? The magic will do its part, but I need to play my part too. What are the steps that I can take to change my reality or influence my reality? I think for a long time I could be quite passive or expect other people to do things to help change. For example, if I was in a frustrating situation, my mind might be thinking, well, why can't he or she change, or why can't this situation be different? And of course I can't change other people and I can't influence the situation unless I do something about it. So magic has really helped me to step up and take more control of my life. And that's not to say that if I want a situation to change, I'm going to be able to influence it totally. There might be some things that I'm just not in control of, but I can now differentiate between those things I am and I'm not in control of, or those things that I may have some influence over. And then I have a choice whether I do something about it. And if I choose not to do anything, then that's down to me and that's my responsibility and I can't put it on anybody else. The second way that magic has changed my life is that it's opened my mind to other possibilities. So when I've experienced magic working, although I've believed in there being other realms or there being something else other than what I can experience with my senses, magic has helped reinforce that belief, if you like. I don't understand how magic works. Once I put something out into the ether or whatever it is, I don't understand what goes on in the background to make it work, and maybe I'm never meant to. Maybe my human, material, mundane mind will never understand how it works. Maybe I don't need to. I think the thing is that I've just got to trust that something will happen. Maybe not on the timeline that I hope it to, but it will. So it's seeing my magic manifest has helped me to relate to the world in a more magical way. It's almost like I'm more aware of the beauty in that there are things going on that I can't fathom, and that's wonderful. Over time, I think I've learned to let go a bit more of the need to know exactly what's going on, and I don't think that will ever happen. I need to accept that. I've learned to sit with that uncertainty and just be in awe of it, be in awe of the mysterious, of the magic that I can never know, but at the same time I can engage with it and have some influence over it. And this leads me on to the next way that magic has changed my life. It's that sense of awe and wonder about the world around me. I can see things with my eyes, I can appreciate them, but I can also know that there are other things going on. And when I hold that in mind, when I look at, especially when I'm out in nature, near the ocean or in a forest, that really helps me tune in to the unknown, and that my understanding is very basic. It's so limited. I'm incapable of comprehending what's going on, but rather than that triggering frustration, nowadays it more leaves me with a sense of awe and wonder, and sometimes it leaves me in tears because of how beautiful life is. Maybe we're just not meant to know, but I love approaching the world now with a sense of awe and wonder. For me, it's a much better position to approach the world from. I know there's a lot of awful things going on in the world at the moment, and at the same time that doesn't take away the awe and wonder I feel about the world. The next way that magic has changed my life is that it's given me respect for the unseen. I don't know how the entities work. When I perform a ritual or a spell, I don't know how those entities work. I don't know what they're doing in the background, but I have a faith and a belief that they are there. And I thank them for being there. I thank them for helping me with the work that I do, because I couldn't do this without them. The next change I've noticed is that I have more gratitude for what I have. I'm very fortunate in my life at the moment anyway, because obviously things can change. But at the moment in my life, I'm very fortunate because I have a job, I have a roof over my head, I have reasonable mental and physical health, I'm able to purchase nourishing foods for myself and my husband. And I know that not everybody has access to that. So I give gratitude every day for those things. So Magick has tuned me in with that more. And also it's made me more giving because of the job that I do. I work in mental health. In the past I've thought about volunteering and working with people who are less fortunate, but honestly I don't know if that would be good for my mental health, if I'm honest, because I do that in my day job and I don't know if that would be overloading me. However, because I have the financial means to be able to donate to organisations that help people less fortunate, I do that. I tend to each month sort of search and see what charities there are locally and nationally that I feel drawn to donate to, and so I'll make a donation. And I feel better for doing that because I can't necessarily give the time. I've learned over the years that I have tried to do too much at once and it's burnt me out, and I really have to be careful of that. I don't want to go back to that place again. So donating money is my way of supporting causes that I'm passionate about. Another way that Magick has changed my life is that it made me realise that what I thought I wanted wasn't actually what I wanted. If I thought about things that I want to manifest in my life, I've thought about what I wanted, but then I've looked at the feeling that is attached to that. And I think that's been a really important shift, is visualising what life would be like if I got the thing I wanted to manifest. And when I tap into that feeling and imagining what life is like, the thing that I wanted wasn't actually what I wanted. What I wanted was freedom, more time for myself, more time to be creative and expressive, because that's where I enjoy being, that kind of process. And so I didn't need the thing that I originally wanted to manifest in order to do that. What I really wanted was these other things, freedom, and that instead I could work my magic for those things and then leave the universe or leave the entities or the spirits to decide how that came about. The surface level thing that I'm thinking I want usually isn't that thing. There is a deeper current that runs under it, and actually if I want that deeper thing, then there may be multitude of ways that that deeper thing can come about other than the original thing I was thinking about. The next way that Magick has changed my life is that it's shifted my perspectives and my beliefs. So I guess first of all it's shifted my belief that magic actually works and that magic exists, because when I did it and I got results, then it reinforced, or it made me realise that magic exists. I don't know how it works, but it does exist. And also that magic will manifest in ways, or the things that we want to manifest through magic will come about in ways that we don't expect. And I love that. I really love that about it. I had an experience where I wanted to manifest a particular amount of money. It's a very small amount of money, but it was for a particular item that I wanted to buy for my dog. And I don't want to talk too much about details because I feel that if I give too much detail it almost takes away from the magic in some way. But the physical money didn't manifest to me, but something else did, and it was really undeniable the way in which it manifested. Initially there was a split second of, oh, this is unusual, but then I thought, oh my goodness, it's what I asked for. It could not be anything else. And there was also something that happened the same day which hinted to that as well. It almost felt like the spirit was saying, you wanted magic, here you go. And that's what I've come to appreciate, is that to not necessarily to expect a straightforward manifestation of the magic or the outcome that I want, but that it may come up in different ways, and that is the beauty of it. I guess also it's helped reinforce a belief that I've held for a long time, that there is more going on than what we can see with our eyes and experience with our physical bodies. I had an experience when I was a child, and also later on into my life, relating to people that had passed away. And the experience I had when I was a child, that was what started off. Well, actually I think it was pre that. I remember being a child thinking I could talk to the birds in the garden and just being absolutely fascinated with birds and thinking how magical they were. But then I had this experience when I was a teenager that made me think that something else was going on, and I couldn't understand what that was. But that's really where that belief stemmed from. And so magic has helped to reinforce that belief that there are lots of things that we cannot understand about this world, or whether there are different realms that things are going on in, and that maybe I will never understand, but that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate them and that we can't engage with them through magic. But isn't it wonderful? Isn't it just wonderful that we can do that? Another way that magic has helped shift my perspective is when it comes to wealth and money, and this relates to some rituals that I've been doing with the Financial Transformation Magic book by Damon Brand and the Gallery of Magic. So if you want to find out more about how that's been going for me, then the video is up on the screen now. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.